Friends, gather close. For today, we talk about regret. Not the fleeting kind, not the type you brush off with a laugh and a shrug, but the kind that lingers, the kind that becomes a shadow following you everywhere, whispering reminders of what you've lost. Yes, today, we talk about their regret, the regret of the ones who had you, who held your trust, your love, your loyalty, and thought they could take it for granted, that they could leave you on the shelf, that they could walk away without looking back, without a second thought, to how their absence would affect you, how it would change everything for you, how their departure would leave a hole in your heart that they never cared to see. But oh, how they will feel it when you leave. Because leaving is not something they were prepared for, not something they saw coming. And that, my friends, is the biggest plot twist of all. You see, they thought they had all the time in the world to come back. They thought they could come to you whenever they felt like it, and you would be there, waiting like a fool, longing for their attention. They took you for granted because they didn't know what it meant to lose something precious until it was too late. And the truth is, the longer they took you for granted, the more certain it became that their departure would be your greatest gift, your ultimate revenge. Regret is a powerful thing. My friends, it sneaks in slowly. At first, it doesn't demand attention. It doesn't scream. It doesn't wave its arms, trying to be seen. It simply hovers quietly in the background until one day it catches up with you and you realize you've made a mistake. A mistake so big, it can never be undone. And by then, it's too late. The opportunity to fix things has passed. And all that's left is the cold, hard reality of what's been lost. The ones who never appreciated you, who thought they could replace you with ease, will find themselves in a desert when they try to find someone like you. Again, they will find that there's no one else who understands them like you did. No one who sees them for who they truly are. No one who can accept their flaws and their imperfections without judgment, because that's what you did. You accepted them for everything they were and everything they weren't. But now you're gone, and suddenly they realize that they had something valuable all along, something that can't be found again. Think about it. What is the worst kind of regret? It's not the regret of never doing something. It's the regret of having something and losing it. The regret of not realizing how valuable something was until it was taken from you. Not when you wanted it, but when it was no longer in your control, when you were helpless to stop it, when you finally understood that your actions or your inactions have led you to this point. And that's where they are now, stuck with the realization that they have lost you forever because they never saw you coming. They never saw how strong you were, how capable you were of walking away from them without a second thought. What they don't know, what they fail to understand, is that the moment you decided to leave, you sealed their fate, because you're not someone who clings to what isn't meant for you. You are not someone who will beg for the scraps of love and attention that they failed to give you. No, you're better than that. And the moment you walked away, you gave them a glimpse of what they could have had and what they lost. You gave them a lesson in value, a lesson they didn't ask for, but one they desperately needed, because see, there's nothing more humbling than losing something you didn't realize you needed until it was gone. And in that moment, they will come to understand just how foolish they were, just how unworthy they were of the treasure they held in their hands. Because what they didn't understand was that you were never just an option for them. You were the choice, the one thing that could have saved them from the emptiness they will now face. And you, my friends, you are not weak. You are not someone who needs to beg or plead for attention. You are someone who understands your worth. And when they failed to see that, when they failed to respect you for what you gave them, You left because you know better than to waste your time on people who don't appreciate you. And that's the plot twist they weren't ready for. That's the part of the story they never anticipated, because they thought you would always be there. They thought they could push you aside for another day, for another chance, for another time. And now, they will regret that decision every day for the rest of their lives. But here's the thing. They will never have the chance to apologize. They will never have the chance to make it right. Because you, my friends, are not waiting for their validation. You are not waiting for their apology, because you already know that their regret is the only thing they will ever give you, and it is not enough. It will never be enough to make up for what you lost, because what you lost wasn't just a piece of yourself. It was your time, your energy, your heart and your soul, and no amount of regret can ever replace that. And let's talk about the people who will now try to fill the void you left behind, because they will try to move on. They will try to find someone who will love them, who will care for them, who will give them the things you gave them. But they will never find it. They will never find someone who will fill the space you left, because no one can replace you. No one can take your place. No one can love them the way you did. No one can understand them the way you did. And no one will ever be able to see them the way you did, because you saw them for who they truly were, even when they couldn't see it themselves. And now that you're gone, they will never find that again. And it's not just them who will regret it, it's the people around them too. The ones who will never know what they lost, because they never had the chance to see what you brought to the table. The ones who will never understand the depth of the bond you shared. The ones who will never know the warmth of your presence, because they were too busy watching from the sidelines, while you gave your all to someone who never appreciated it. But don't feel sorry for them, my friends, because their regret will be the only thing they ever have left, and that will be their punishment, a punishment they will carry with them for the rest of their days. So take pride in your decision to leave. Take pride in knowing that you were never the one who was expendable. You were never the one who was easily replaced. You were the one who walked away and left them with nothing but their regret, their emptiness, and their loss. Because in the end, it is always the ones who think they can let you go without consequences who will suffer the most. And that is your victory, your plot twist, the one they never saw coming, the one that will haunt them for the rest of their lives. They will search for you in the faces of others. They will search for you in the memories of what once was. But they will never find you again. And that, my friends, is the greatest revenge of all, because in this world, nothing is more powerful than the truth of your absence. Nothing is more humbling than the sudden realization that they had something extraordinary, something irreplaceable, and they let it slip through their fingers. You are not someone who craves revenge in the traditional sense. You do not seek to hurt or harm or cause them pain. No, your revenge is far more subtle, far more devastating, because you took away the very thing that made them feel complete, the thing they never thought they would lose, and they will never get it back. That is the beauty of your departure. It is not loud, it is not dramatic. It doesn't need to be. It is quiet, yet it is the most profound statement of all. In the silence of your absence, you have said everything. You have shown them the weight of what they lost, and you have given them nothing in return. That nothingness, that emptiness, is far worse than anything they could have imagined. It is a lingering ache that will echo in their soul every day. They will try to fill the void you left with distractions, with people, with fleeting pleasures, but deep down, they will always know that what they sought to replace was something that cannot be replaced. They will search for you in the eyes of others, hoping to find a reflection of what they had in you. But no matter how many times they look, they will never find it, because what you gave them, what you offered, was unique It was not a commodity, not something to be bought or sold. It was a gift, a rare gift that they failed to appreciate until it was gone. And now they are left with nothing but the harsh reality that they had it all and threw it away. The worst kind of regret, my friends, is the kind that is born of neglect. It is the regret that comes when you realize that the very thing you took for granted was something you should have held close. The ones who lost you will feel this regret every single day of their lives. They will wake up in the morning and feel the weight of your absence pressing down on them. They will go through their routines, their interactions, but in the back of their minds, there will always be a question that will never be answered. What if they had treated you differently? What if they had appreciated you when they had the chance? What if they had loved you the way you deserve to be loved? But my friends, these are not questions that can be answered, and that, in itself, is the tragedy, because they will never know the true extent of what they lost until they have lost it forever. And even then, the knowledge of what they lost will never bring it back. That is the price they will pay for their indifference, their carelessness, their failure to see you for who you truly are. And there is no amount of regret that can change that. They will attempt to move on. They will try to convince themselves that they are fine, that they are better off without you. They will find someone else to occupy the space you once held, someone who might seem to fill the role, but it will never be the same. The truth is, they will always know that no one else could love them the way you did. No one else could understand them the way you did. No one else could offer them the kind of unconditional love and support that you gave. And every time they look at someone else, they will feel the sting of your absence. They will feel the pain of knowing that they let go of something real, something pure, something irreplaceable. The people around them will also feel this absence. They will see the cracks in their facade, the moments when the mask slips, when the regret is evident in their eyes. They will see that something is missing, but they will never truly understand what it is. They will never know what it was that made you so special, what it was that made your love so powerful. They will never feel the warmth of your presence, the way you made the world feel a little brighter, a little better. And while they might try to fill the gaps with their own distractions, they will always know that the person they need, the person they long for, is gone. Let's not forget that there will always be those who doubt, those who think you will come back. They are the ones who never understood why you left in the first place. They are the ones who will continue to make excuses for the ones who hurt you, who will try to tell you that you should give them another chance, that maybe they've changed. But you know better, don't you? You know that the moment you gave them a second chance, you were only setting yourself up for more disappointment, more heartbreak. You know that some people don't change, that they don't deserve your time, your energy, your love. And so you leave, and they will never understand why. But here's the thing, you don't need them to understand. Their understanding is irrelevant. What matters is that you have taken control of your life. You have made a decision that prioritizes your peace, your well-being, your happiness. You have chosen to step away from the toxicity, the neglect, the ungratefulness. And that, my friends, is something they will never be able to take away from you. In the end, it's not about what they did or didn't do. It's not about their regret or their guilt. It's not about the apologies they will never give or the promises they will never keep. It's about you. It's about recognizing your worth, understanding that you are not someone who should be overlooked, dismissed, or taken for granted. It's about knowing that you deserve better, that you deserve to be loved, appreciated, and respected. And when you walked away, you showed them that you will never settle for less than you deserve. Your departure, my friends, was the wake-up call they never asked for, but desperately needed. It was the reminder they needed to realize that sometimes you don't realize what you have until it's gone. And by the time they realize it, by the time they understand the depth of what they've lost, it will be too late, because you will be gone and you will be better for it. So take pride in your decision. Take pride in the strength it took to walk away. Take pride in knowing that you are worth more than the world they offered you, more than the scraps they thought you would be satisfied with. You have shown them that you are not someone to be taken lightly. You are not someone who can be dismissed, forgotten, or replaced. You are someone who deserves everything, and if they couldn't give it to you, then they didn't deserve you. Now, they will live with the consequences of their actions. They will live with the regret that follows them, the knowledge that they let something extraordinary slip through their fingers. And you will move on, you will grow, you will find peace, and you will find someone who sees you, who values you, who appreciates everything you bring to the table. In the end, their regret will be the only thing they have left. It will be their punishment, their burden to carry. And you, my friends, will be free. You will be free of them, free of the past, free of the chains that once held you back. You will move forward, stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever, to never settle for anything less than what you truly deserve. And that, my friends, is the greatest revenge of all. The freedom you feel now, the space you've created for yourself, the absence of the ones who never understood you. That is your power. You are no longer tethered to them. You are no longer waiting in the shadows, hoping for their recognition, craving their approval. You have finally severed the chains that bound you to their expectations, to their indifference, and to their misplaced sense of control. What they did not realize is that your departure was not just a physical act. It was the beginning of a revolution in your life. It was the turning point where you reclaimed everything they tried to take from you: your time, your love, your heart, your worth. Now, they will be forced to face the truth, though they may not even recognize it at first. They may convince themselves that they didn't need you, that they were fine without you, that they could find someone else to replace you, to fill the space you left behind. But no one can ever truly replace what was lost. They will try. Oh, how they will try. But the more they reach, the more they will find themselves empty. Because what you brought to the table wasn't just something tangible. It was the essence of your being, your soul, your depth, your unique understanding of love and care. No one can replicate that. And the moment they realize this truth, it will feel like a punch to the gut. It will hurt, not because you wish for them to hurt, but because the reality of losing something irreplaceable will hit them in a way they never expected. They will never get back the trust you gave, the loyalty you offered, the understanding that flowed between you. Those are not things that can be retrieved or bought back. They are the precious gifts you gave, and once they were taken for granted, they vanished. Now, they will be left with nothing but the memory of what they once had, and the regret of their failure to appreciate it. Every day, they will feel it. At first, it will be a dull ache, a nagging sense that something is missing, something they can't quite identify. But over time, that ache will deepen until it becomes unbearable. It will consume them when they lie awake at night, when they go through the motions of their day-to-day life, when they try to connect with others and fall short. They will realize slowly and painfully that you were the one thing they needed and the one thing they lost. And here's where the true power of your departure lies. You didn't need to leave with a grand declaration, a dramatic speech, or a tear-filled farewell. No, my friends, you left in silence, and that silence speaks volumes. It speaks louder than any confrontation, louder than any fight or argument. You walked away, and you left them with nothing but their own regrets, their own brokenness, and their own inability to fix what they broke. And the thing is, they will search for reasons, for answers, for any justification that will make their actions seem right. They will twist the narrative in their heads, convincing themselves that they were justified in their treatment of you, that they were somehow the victim in the situation. They will attempt to convince others too, to believe their version of events, but deep down, they know the truth. They know that you were the one who gave everything, who loved without conditions, who stood by them when no one else did. And now, when the dust settles, it will be clear to everyone that the only person they have to blame for your departure is themselves. The regret will fester within them. It will take root, spreading through their veins like poison until they are consumed by the knowledge that they will never find another like you. You are one of a kind, a rarity in a world full of mediocrity. Your love, your devotion, your kindness, they are the qualities that make you irreplaceable. And no matter how hard they try to forget, they will always carry the weight of that loss with them. But here's the thing, while they will be drowning in their regret, you will be thriving, you will be growing, you will be becoming the person you are always meant to be, unburdened by the chains of their neglect. You will rise higher, stronger, and more resilient because you've learned the hardest lesson of all, that your worth is not defined by anyone else's opinion of you. You don't need their validation, their approval, or their love to validate your existence. You were enough before they entered your life, and you are enough now that they are gone. You will learn too that the most important relationship you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. You will learn to love yourself fully, completely, without the need for external affirmation. You will find peace in your own company, and you will discover the strength that lies within you when you are free from the weight of toxic relationships and ungrateful people. And as you grow, as you transform, they will watch from a distance, and they will see the success, the peace, and the happiness you found in your own journey. And they will know, deep down, that they were the reason for it. They will know that they are the ones who pushed you to rise, to become someone they can never touch again. And while they will struggle with their regret, with their guilt, with the realization that they missed the opportunity to have something truly remarkable in their lives, you will move forward, unhindered. You will find people who truly see you, who understand your worth, and who are capable of loving you the way you deserve to be loved. These people will lift you up, they will encourage you, and they will show you the beauty of true, unconditional love. A love that never takes you for granted. A love that gives and receives in equal measure. They will be the ones who fill the spaces left by those who couldn't appreciate you, and they will make you feel whole again. And when they look back, when they realize what they have lost, it will be too late. They will see you happy, thriving, surrounded by the love and respect you always deserved, and they will realize that they are the ones who missed out. They will see that the person they once had in their lives is now untouchable, no longer within their reach, no longer available to be manipulated or mistreated. They will feel the sting of their actions, the weight of their mistakes, and they will have no one to blame but themselves. They will wish for another chance, but those chances will never come. But here's the most important part of it all, my friends. You don't need them to regret anything. Their regret is not for you. It is not something you should hold over their heads or use as a weapon. Their regret is their burden to carry, and you do not need to be a part of it anymore. You are free from the weight of their indifference, free from the guilt they tried to place on you, free from the burden of their unmet expectations. Your freedom is the reward. Your peace is the prize. And that, my friends, is all that matters. So, take solace in the fact that they will never know the fullness of what they had until they no longer have it. Take pride in the fact that you walked away, that you chose yourself, that you finally saw your own worth and understood that you deserved better. Take pride in knowing that you are the one who is stronger, who is wiser, and who is capable of moving forward, while they remain stuck in the past, forever haunted by the knowledge that they will never have you again. And as for you, my friends, you will continue to live, to thrive, to grow. You will build a life that is rich with meaning, purpose, and love. And when you look back, it will be with no bitterness, no anger, no regret. You will simply look back with the knowledge that you gave your all and they could not handle it. You will walk away with your head held high, knowing that your departure was the greatest plot twist of all, and that they were never prepared for it. In the end, the greatest revenge is not in seeking vengeance, but in the strength to walk away and never look back. Your departure was a powerful statement, a quiet reminder that your worth cannot be taken for granted. The regret they will carry will be their burden alone, while you move forward, stronger and wiser, building a life that reflects your true value. They may never understand what they lost, but you've already won, because you chose yourself. And that, my friends, is the ultimate victory.